Hi, this is Mary. Today I'm going to read to you a story about Snoopy. I'm sure you all know Snoopy from the cartoons in the newspapers and maybe in cartoons and stuff on television. This book is called Come Back Snoopy, and it was written by Charles Schulz, and he's been known for years and years about drawing Snoopy. Of course, Snoopy's person that owns Snoopy is Charlie Brown. And so let's find out what's happening with Snoopy today. "It's time to feed Snoopy," Charlie Brown said to his friend Linus. "My favorite words in the English language," Snoopy thought. Charlie Brown soon returned with a dish full of food, some fresh water, and a letter for Snoopy. First things first, Snoopy thought as he ate his supper. Then he sat down to read the letter. It was from his brother Spike. And did you know he had a brother on the cover? It shows Spike and Snoopy. We'll talk about that later. Dear brother Snoopy," the letter said, "the desert is warm, the skies are sunny, there is no work to do. I hope you can visit me sometime." This is a letter Snoopy got from his brother Spike. And Snoopy was not very impressed. Warm weather, sunny skies, no work? Just then, Charlie Brown came back. I hope he brought seconds, Snoopy thought. But Charlie Brown did not bring seconds. "Snoopy, I've decided that you should work to earn your keep. You'll have to do some work in exchange for your food. You wait here for the newspaper to come each morning, and then you bring the paper to me, and you can start that tomorrow." Clunk, here comes the bird, his friend. Here comes Woodstock, and he fell on the ground. Snoopy was insulted. He had never worked a day in his life. He did not plan to start now. "Good grief," he said. Remember, that's his favorite words. Luckily, his friend Woodstock dropped by. Snoopy needed a friend to talk to. And so here, "Beagles aren't working dogs," Snoopy explained. "Beagles are eating and sleeping dogs," Woodstock agreed. "There is only one thing I can do," Snoopy said. "I must move away from here. I will live with my brother Spike in the desert. Warm weather, sunny skies, no work." The next morning, Snoopy packed his bag and left a farewell note for Charlie Brown. "Goodbye, my faithful friend," he said to Woodstock. Snoopy traveled by bus, by train, and by paws. And of course, paws are what? His feet. Very good. When they finally reached the desert, Spike was happy to see him. "Let's have a long chat," said Spike. But Snoopy was very, very hungry. He unpacked his suitcase and took out his supper dish. "When does supper come?" he asked. "Supper doesn't come to the desert," Spike said. "You have to hunt for it." "Yipes," said Snoopy. "I don't hunt." "It's just as well," said Spike. "There isn't much hunting in the desert." Snoopy was thirsty too. "Where does your water come from?" he asked. "Well, that's easier," said Spike. "The cactus over there has moisture inside of it. If you drink enough of it, you won't have to have a drink." "If I eat enough of that, I'll be full of holes." And he's worried. Spike showed Snoopy how to eat the cactus by carefully avoiding the prickly spines. But Snoopy wasn't very good at it. Ouch! Ouch! Ooh! Not by now, Snoopy was very tired. "Do you have a doghouse?" Snoopy asked. "Sorry, brother Snoopy," said Spike. "Just find a nice rock and make yourself comfortable." Snoopy found a rock, but he could not make himself comfortable. His legs hurt, his back hurt, and his head hurt. He was hot and he was hungry. All night long he heard strange sounds. He imagined creeping lizards, crawling queen snakes, and fierce gully cats. Snoopy did not sleep at all. Nothing could be as bad as this, Snoopy thought, not even work. And here's his brother. Meanwhile, Spike is snoring contently. He's used to being in the desert, so he's okay. What do you think Snoopy's going to do? Snoopy was still tossing and turning as the sun rose. In the distance, he saw an oddly familiar bird. "That's strange," Snoopy said. "I thought we only had that kind of birds back home. It looks a lot like Woodstock." The bird flew closer. It was Woodstock, and there they're hugging each other. Looks like Snoopy, it looks like Woodstock brought him a letter. Woodstock was carrying a letter from Charlie Brown. Dear Snoopy, it said, please come home. Things aren't the same without you. I miss you very much. Your pal, Charlie Brown. Snoopy couldn't have been happier. He said goodbye to Spike, and he packed up his supper dish and he set out for home. He traveled by paw, which of course is his feet, and he traveled by train and by bus. He arrived home just in time for supper. The next day, Snoopy delivered the paper to Charlie Brown. It wasn't such a bad job after all. Snoopy got to read the paper first. I'm sure of one thing, said Charlie Brown. I'll never ask him to bring in the groceries. And that was the end. And that was called Come Back, Snoopy by Charles Schulz. They do look a lot alike, except he's got different kind of eyes, and he's got a mustache and a hat. But they do look a lot alike. Thank you.